Well, first of all, there's a potluck today. That's always good news, right? I come bearing good news, and I think you all already know it, and you're going to hear it today at the annual meeting. Amazing ministry work is being done at the corner of 54th and Clyde Park. Amen. Hallelujah. This is an incredible location, and this is an incredible set of people. And you're going to hear in the annual meeting about all of the different ways that we care and serve each other right here, and serve and care for the world. I hope you're going to stay. I hope you're going to listen to those reports. I hope you take pride and know that God is pleased and that you bless the world in all of the ways right here near this busy intersection that you bring the message of God to the world. This is a wonderful day. This is important ministry that we do. And as I said, we're going to hear a lot more about it in the annual meeting. And we are blessed with a great location. We're blessed with a great group of people, a great piece of property. And because of fortune and the grace of God, the city has grown up around us as we've been here, hasn't it? I'm sure many of you remember when this corner was only a couple of lanes going each way, when there didn't need to be a light down here. I'm sure many of you remember when there was no Meijer and no Target, when there were thousands of cars that I seen stream by this intersection every day while I'm sitting in my office preparing to be with you on Sunday, to go out with you, and to participate in ministry. We are in a fantastic location. There is a hospital, a fantastic world-class West Michigan hospital, which is only a couple of miles from here. There are a couple of international businesses that have their offices within a few miles of this very location. Some of our own employees work in those places. And since they put in M6, we sit at the crossroads. Folks, we sit at the crossroads of West Michigan. It isn't just Clyde Park and 54th Street. Go a quarter of a mile beyond that to where M6 and 131 cross. And you can get anywhere from Traverse City to Kalamazoo to Holland to Muskegon to Lansing in an hour or two from here. That location matters. Because location matters for ministry, friends. Yes, it does. And that's what I hope you're going to have heard in these lessons today. That lesson that Lynn read from 1 Corinthians, the city of Corinth, boy, that's not anywhere near here. This is not Corinth, Georgia we're talking about, folks. So you may have to throw your mind back a little bit in history to catch up. But it was an incredibly important city because it lays at the isthmus, right? The isthmus, where two big pieces of land come together. The Peloponnese, that's the part of Greece that kind of goes down as a big blob into the Aegean Sea and the Mediterranean, and the mainland. And just a little stretch of land there, 5 miles, separates the one from the other, and that's where this city was. And guess what? That was a crossroads, a great crossroads of the ancient world. People traveling from Rome to Jerusalem, going east and west, or then further off into the Orient. People headed north or south would cross in Corinth. And so all kinds of people found their way there. It was a great place of trade. It was a great place of commerce. It was a great place where people were buzzing by on the roads every day. And it's for that reason that Paul lived there for 18 months and worshiped with them. And it's for that reason that in this lesson you hear him say, what is it that you're hearing about? Do you belong to Paul or Apollos or Cephas? Because the preachers came there too. Preachers follow the people. The preaching happens where the people are, where they congregate. And all these people were preaching about Christ, not just Paul. Because the location of Corinth mattered for ministry. And Jesus is beginning his ministry too. It kind of reads backwards. But the very last thing it says in our gospel lesson from Matthew is that Jesus went out and began to proclaim, right? He started to gather the disciples and he started to heal. This is the beginning of Jesus' ministry. The very beginning. Just before this, all we've had is he's been baptized, we've had his baby stories, and now he's come back from the desert. And what's the first thing Jesus has to do before he can start his ministry? He moves. He moves from Nazareth, which is a town of, not even a town. It's 150 people maybe, gathered a few houses together. Out in the hill country, not close to anything. And he intentionally moves himself where? To a crossroads. To a place where people come. Where people can be found. Capernaum is not terribly big either. About 1,500 people. But it's on the Sea of Galilee and the road that wraps around it. And so Jesus can find his disciples. He can find those he needs to preach to. And he can begin his ministry when he finds himself in a place which has a great location. You know, in our location, you're going to hear how we're taking this ministry already out and serving each other as part of the annual meeting. But you may not know that those in need are already finding us very regularly here at the intersection of 54th and Clyde Park. We're just recently going through those I've served who walked in the doors this last year, not members of this congregation, those who have an immediate need. 18 unique individuals have walked in these doors on their own, finding us because we are a beacon of hope at the crossroads of an important part of our community. And they come from the hospital, released without health insurance and needing to get home. They come from downtown. Without a place to sleep, they end up down here off of on the bus route and need something to eat, a warm bed, and a warm night. They need a cup of coffee. They need someone who will listen. They come off the highway in numbers you cannot even imagine. Folks who are traveling without an extra dollar in their pocket. And so when their tire blows and it's already the spare that they're riding on, or when they thought they were only going this far, but it turns out that after Mom got sick, now they've got to take her all the way back up to Kalkaska, and nobody's got the money for it. They come here looking for a little relief. All of these cases are an invitation to not only continue to do the amazing ministry we are already doing together, but to remember the blessing that is this incredible place, this incredible location that has grown up around us. And even without our active participation, folks are finding their ways to our doors, looking to be fed by the good news of the gospel. I'd ask you, when you have a minute, to reread that collect we said together. In light of its call to be ready, to participate now, to proclaim, to speak the word and serve those who desperately need this community of faith located in this place at this time, as much a part of God's plan for the world as Paul's 18 months in Corinth or Jesus' moving from Nazareth to Capernaum. And I pray that in the year to come, we will ask ourselves, with this location, how can we too preach, call, and serve to make best use of the gifts God has given us? Amen.